script problems are mad real. People have been talking about how they've been shooting with no script. There's been rumors of Robert Downey Jr. fighting with Ryan Reynolds, but people are saying that's debunked. They are now saying it's two other actors from Thunderbolts that was fighting. And now, Robert Downey Jr. is threatening to quit if certain things aren't taken care of.
TMZ is now reporting that Ryan Reynolds-Robert Downey Jr. feud is made up. Or is this just Ryan Reynolds' spin?
Bob Iger makes 400 times what his lowest worker is. And I think that's a shame, Bob.
Could Marvel's biggest star be ready to walk away from the MCU? That's the question fans are asking right now, because behind the scenes of Avengers Doomsday, things reportedly aren't going smoothly at all. In fact, the whispers are getting louder. Rewrites, clashing actors, scrapped scripts, and even Robert Downey Jr. himself allegedly stepping in to demand changes.
People causing problems on the set of Avengers Doomsday are in fact one, Robert Downey Jr., but on the other side is the merc with the mouth himself, Ryan Reynolds.
Now, anytime we hear about Marvel facing production drama, people tend to roll their eyes. Because let's be real, every blockbuster has behind-the-scenes issues. But this is different. This involves the actor who literally built the MCU as we know it. If the rumors are true, the stakes aren't just high for one movie. The future of Marvel's biggest projects could be hanging in the balance. And the craziest part? Downey might actually be the one calling the shots this time.
Cosmic book news. It's claimed that things are going so poorly with Avengers Doomsday that not only have the Thunderbolts actors allegedly clashed on set, but Robert Downey Jr. has even threatened to quit if the script isn't fixed. The report comes as a new rumor circulating that the script has been scrapped. Tongue twister. Has been scrapped and is now being rewritten by the Deadpool team. Wow.
Let's start with where all the noise began. Whispers of chaos during production. According to multiple reports, Marvel's upcoming projects, from Thunderbolts to Avengers, Doomsday, have been dealing with more than just scheduling headaches. Rumors surfaced online that two actors from Thunderbolts allegedly clashed on set, sparking tension and slowing down production. At first, people thought the drama involved Robert Downey Jr. and Ryan Reynolds, but those claims were quickly shot down. Still, the fire was lit, and fans couldn't stop speculating about who was really fighting behind the scenes. But even more concerning than on-set arguments was the word that started spreading about the Avengers Doomsday script itself.
Report on the alleged troubles with Avengers Doomsday, saying that the movie script has been tossed out entirely, according to him. Look, Doomcock has been right about several things in the past. Quote, according to our sources, a draft of the latest script of Doomsday is so bad that the writers are being forced to leave and new writers are coming. Downey reportedly takes control. Doomcock points to, Robert Downey Jr. as the key figure behind the big shakeup. Allegedly. Robert Downey Jr. himself is making this call. He has threatened to walk away from the movie if Disney doesn't redo this.
Multiple insiders hinted that the script was a mess, so much so that some actors didn't even want to work with it. That's when attention turned to Robert Downey Jr., and suddenly, this wasn't just another Hollywood rumor. This was potentially Marvel's most important actor threatening to walk away. Here's where things get wild. According to speculation, Robert Downey Jr. was so unhappy with the direction of the Avengers Doomsday script that he allegedly threatened to leave the project altogether. Imagine that for a second. Iron Man himself, the face of the MCU, walking away because the script wasn't up to par. Now, Marvel has faced criticism in recent years for movies that feel rushed, underdeveloped, or overly focused on checking boxes rather than telling stories.
Brand Marvel used to sell tickets in and of itself. It almost didn't matter what the movie was. People were interested because they were so bought into the MCU. And in particular, late into phase 3, it was just people trusted they were going to get a good movie.
So, if the rumors are true, it makes sense that Downey, a veteran who knows what made Marvel successful in the first place, would be the one to draw a line in the sand. Fans are treating this like a major turning point, because if Robert Downey Jr. is speaking up, then Marvel executives have no choice but to listen. The big question is, why was the script so bad in the first place? From what's being said online, the rejected Avengers Doomsday script wasn't just a little rough. It was reportedly a disaster. Insiders claimed it leaned heavily on a forced balance of characters rather than natural storytelling. Some described it as Marvel's attempt to engineer representation through a checklist rather than focusing on compelling character arcs. Fans who already feel burned out by Marvel's recent missteps were quick to believe these rumors, pointing to past projects that seemed more focused on sending messages than building memorable heroes.
Basically. Now, look, we know that Avengers Doomsday, it has already a lot of mixed reactions based on the casting. We know that there are a lot of people that love the idea of Downey Jr. playing Doctor Doom. There are also a lot of people like myself that view it as a very desperate move to use Robert Downey Jr.'s face as a selling point. That's really ultimately what I believe is going on here. They could have gotten anybody like an original cast like Cillian Murphy or anybody out there that could have took the mantle, all right, to play Doctor Doom and to really do something very original.
And here's the thing. Robert Downey Jr. has been through this before. He's seen firsthand what works and what doesn't in superhero storytelling. So, if he really did slam the brakes on this script, it could be because he recognized the same issues fans have been pointing out for years. But Marvel wasn't about to give up. Instead, they allegedly turned to some unexpected names to fix the problem. When the whispers first spread that Marvel had tossed the entire Avengers Doomsday script into the trash, most fans assumed they'd simply bring in another safe, studio-approved screenwriter to clean things up. But according to the latest chatter, Marvel didn't go safe at all. They went bold. The studio allegedly reached out to the writers behind Deadpool, the franchise famous for breaking every superhero rule in the book.
I thought it was just going to be some other type of mayhem, some problems with the script. You know what I'm saying? Wow. So they're still, allegedly, they're still doing the same thing. Now, I'm inclined to believe it. Do you know why? Because Thunderbolts. Because Fantastic Four, even though I enjoyed it, I saw all the boxes that were checked. It didn't feel woke while I was watching it, but I saw those boxes checked. If this is true, wow, a round of applause for Robert Downey Jr. threatening to leave if they don't fix this ish. Wow.
If true, this decision marks a dramatic pivot in tone. Instead of sticking to the polished, formulaic approach that has defined recent Marvel films, they may be looking to inject the kind of sharp, subversive energy that made Deadpool a cultural phenomenon. And this wasn't just about tweaking dialogue or patching weak plot points. Reports suggest Marvel wanted a complete overhaul, a top-to-bottom reset of the movie's direction. That's significant because Deadpool's DNA is very different from the rest of the MCU. The franchise thrives on unpredictability, dark comedy, meta references, and a willingness to poke fun at the very universe it exists within. If the Deadpool team really is taking the reins of Doomsday, it could mean audiences will see an Avengers movie unlike anything Marvel has ever put on screen before. This shift, A, fuels speculation about Deadpool's own role in the project. With Ryan Reynolds already confirmed as central to Deadpool 3, rumors are swirling that his character could end up with a far larger presence in Avengers Doomsday than originally planned. Imagine the possibilities. Deadpool fighting alongside Earth's mightiest heroes, taunting villains in the middle of battle, or even mocking the Avengers themselves during their most serious moments. For some fans, this sounds like exactly the jolt of irreverence Marvel needs to remind audiences why they fell in love with this universe in the first place. But not everyone is convinced. Critics argue that leaning too heavily on Deadpool's humor could backfire, turning what should be a high-stakes, emotional event into a gimmicky comedy. They worry that Marvel is chasing after Deadpool's success without addressing the deeper problems plaguing the MCU, namely weak storylines and rushed execution. In other words, you can slap a Deadpool joke onto a broken script, but if the foundation isn't solid, fans will see through it immediately. Still, the very fact that Marvel would even consider such a dramatic shift shows just how high the stakes are for Avengers Doomsday. This isn't just another sequel. It's being positioned as the film that could make or break Marvel's reputation going forward. Bringing in the Deadpool writers signals that the studio knows it can't afford another misfire, and it's willing to gamble on a tone that's edgier, riskier, and potentially divisive. And while all this was playing out, Robert Downey Jr. wasn't sitting idle, because if the rumors are true, his influence on this shakeup might be even greater than people realize. When it comes to the Marvel Cinematic Universe, very few names carry as much weight as Robert Downey Jr. For years, he was the cornerstone of the franchise, the man whose performance as Tony Stark turned what could have been just another superhero movie into the launchpad for the biggest interconnected film universe in history. And now, rumors suggest that he's not just returning in front of the camera, he might actually be stepping up behind the scenes, shaping the creative direction of Avengers Doomsday. Multiple insiders claim Downey has been working closely with the Russo brothers, the same directors who gave us Infinity War and Endgame, to steer the story back toward the epic scale and emotional depth that defined Marvel's golden years. For longtime fans, this almost feels poetic. In 2008, Downey was the foundation of the MCU, and now, nearly 2 decades later, he could be the one trying to rescue it from a slump. What makes this rumor even more fascinating is the suggestion that Marvel executives are giving him latitude, actual creative authority, something actors almost never get at this level. Normally, Disney is known for tightly controlling every detail of its franchises. But if Downey really has this kind of influence, it signals how desperate Marvel might be to get things back on track. After all, if the studio wasn't struggling, why hand the keys to an actor, even one as legendary as RDJ? But here's where things get really interesting. People are debating why Downey would take this role. Is he simply protecting his legacy, making sure Iron Man's name isn't attached to a flop? Or is this genuinely about saving the MCU for the fans who have stuck with it through the highs and lows? Some believe he's doing both, preserving his own reputation while also pushing Marvel to reclaim the storytelling magic it's lost in recent years. Whatever the truth is, the stakes couldn't be higher. If Downey Jr. really is calling the shots, then Avengers Doomsday won't just be another Marvel movie. It could be the project that decides whether the MCU rises again or finally collapses under the weight of its own expectations. And just when you think the rumors can't get any bigger, the next one raises the bar even higher, as if all the behind-the-scenes drama wasn't already shocking enough. A new wave of speculation suggests that Avengers Doomsday might not just be a single movie. It could actually be the start of a brand new trilogy. Imagine that. 3 massive films, all built around the same storyline, stretching out across multiple years. On the surface, this sounds like a return to the kind of long-term storytelling that made Marvel unstoppable during the Infinity Saga. Fans still remember the build-up to Infinity War and Endgame, where every movie felt like another puzzle piece in a grand design. So, the idea of Marvel going big again has some people genuinely excited. But there's another side to this rumor, and it's a lot less optimistic. After years of rushed projects, underwhelming scripts, and movies that feel more like content than cinematic events, plenty of fans aren't convinced that Marvel can pull off a trilogy without repeating the same mistakes. They worry this expansion isn't about telling an incredible story, but about stretching material thin, milking franchises, and cramming in more cameos and spectacle instead of focusing on character and heart. And honestly, that skepticism isn't without reason. Marvel's recent track record has been uneven at best, and audiences are far less patient than they used to be. This is exactly why Robert Downey Jr.'s rumored involvement looms so large. If the studio really is planning a trilogy, then having RDJ at the center, both as a performer and as a creative leader, could be the only way to reassure fans that Marvel knows what it's doing. After all, when people think of Marvel's peak, they think of Iron Man, Captain America, and the Russos delivering stories that balanced action, emotion, and spectacle. If Marvel can recreate that formula, a trilogy might actually bring back the magic. But if they fall into the same traps, rushed scripts, box checking, and soulless spectacle, then even 3 movies won't be enough to save the MCU. So the big question becomes, is this rumored trilogy a bold new beginning, or just Marvel doubling down on a strategy that's already failing? Fans are holding their breath because whether it's 1 movie or 3, Avengers Doomsday isn't just another entry in the franchise. It's the test that will determine if Marvel still has what it takes to dominate global audiences, or if the endgame has already arrived. So where does that leave us? If the rumors are true, we've got actor clashes on set, a scrap script, the Deadpool writers being brought in, Robert Downey Jr. allegedly threatening to walk, and Marvel considering stretching this into a trilogy. That's not just one headline. That's a storm of speculation swirling around the most important project Marvel has in development right now. And at the center of it all is Robert Downey Jr., the man who built the MCU, possibly trying to save it from itself. The big question is whether that's even possible. Can one actor, even Iron Man himself, turn around a franchise that so many fans believe has lost its way? Or is this just Marvel's last desperate attempt to hold on to the glory days? One thing's for sure, whatever happens with Avengers Doomsday, it's going to shape the future of the MCU for years to come. But now, I want to hear from you. Do you think Robert Downey Jr. can actually save Marvel? Or is it already too late? Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. And don't forget to hit that like button, share this video, and subscribe for more updates. Because if even half of these rumors are true, the real story is just getting started.